What does the real book not tell you about Well You Needn't? Don't play the sevenths. In a 1966 interview with Downbeat magazine, Monk takes a blindfold test, a fun tradition in which a jazz artist listens to recordings of other musicians without disclosure of who is playing what. Overall, the interview is fascinating and it reveals a great deal of Monk's personality and artistry. For our purposes, let us focus on the fifth listening example. In this example, Downbeat presents Monk with a recording of Phineas Newborn Jr. playing his composition Well You Needn't. Interestingly, Monk has a gripe with how Phineas Newborn Jr. plays the bridge of the song. In his words, he hit the inside wrong, didn't have the right changes. It's supposed to be major ninths, and he's playing ninths. It starts with a D-flat major 9. What does he mean by that? In jazz, a ninth usually refers to a seventh chord with a ninth. It sounds like this. Typically, a major 9 is a major seventh chord with a ninth. But I don't think that's what Monk is playing. Take a look at what he plays here. I don't hear him playing the major 7th or the 3rd, just D flat and E flat. I think what he means by D flat major 9 is not the D flat major 9 chord, but the D flat major 9 interval. So why is this important? Well, it's because the real book has sevenths all over the song, and that definitely changes the way the song is played and the way it sounds. To illustrate my point, let me play you two examples, one with a voicing that's derived from the major 9th interval idea with a 5th added to it, and I think that's appropriate because the melody in the bridge outlines D flat, E flat, and A flat, and where else should you be more faithful to the melody than on a Monk song? So the first example is going to be a 9th with a 5th added to it. And then the second example is going to be made of 7ths, dominant 7th chords. Listen to how different they sound. The difference can be heard in improvisation too. Here's an example of me playing without the 7ths, and then an example of me focusing on the 7ths. So now we understand Monk's changes on Well You Needn't. Why does this matter? Well, for me, the simplicity of the D flat major 9 interval creates a more open sound. It makes me play more triads or pentatonics. Also, I think that voicing in the low register of the piano sounds badass. Here's a clip of Bill Frisell interviewed by Pablo held, discussing the same things. How Monk's simplicity influenced his playing and changed the way he approached music. Full disclosure, the original video by Pablo held and the Downbeat interview definitely inspired me to create this video.
I thought it was okay to just stick all the other stuff in there, but then I realized what a difference that makes to take something out I've been messing around a little bit with scales, like what if I don't play all the notes of the scale? And of course, like there's all kinds of pentatonic things, but what about 6-note scales? And then it plays 6-note scales instead of 7-note scales. Precision and the detail of how he picked notes that would have an impact with the least, with not, you don't have to play a big, huge thing. And then that, for a guitar player, it's great because I can't play a 10-note chord really on the guitar. So he's like a amazing teacher of how to get a lot of impact with a few notes.
Does this mean we should make everybody play Monk's changes? It depends. If the rest of the band is playing different changes and they clash with yours, it's not going to sound good. Luckily, a D-flat major 9 interval doesn't really clash with a D-flat 9's dominant sound. In my opinion, adapting to those around you usually works better than stubbornness. However, I do think that we should try to be aware of Monk's changes. Monk himself made it very clear in the Downbeat interview that he's bothered by the wrong changes. Yet we hear many people playing 7ths or Miles Davis's G7 on the bridge. If you want to pay respect to Monk, then try these chords out and see how they change the way you play this song. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want more content like this, please subscribe, like, and follow. And please support me on Patreon. There's a link in the description.